you already, yeah, that time of year is back. PPL live, it's time to crown another champ. 2023 to 24, it's going down. Lots of competition, only one can wear the crown. Hope that you already, yeah, the time of year is back. PPL live, it's time to crown another champ. 2023 to 24, it's going down. Lots of competition, only one can wear the crown. Squad underestimated, finally won his first shit. They put the work and made some trades, yeah, that was good shit. But don't get comfortable, the league is filled with champions. Don't sleep on your opponent, better stay away from ambience. We back again, another year of PPL. Back to talk smack again, we treat it like the NFL. Time to stack your rosters up and build your best to never fail. By week 6 we take advantage, if you're weak cause we could tell. You better bring your A game, be solid like an A-frame. A new year but the same thing, you better be ready to bang bang. It's showtime, PPL live is ready to go. Gino the Jet will let you know it won't be easy, that's for sure. When the pass smacking bones crack, yeah, you gotta love that. Glad it's back, PPL, let's run it back. Live shows, speak the facts, analyze and talk the trash. Play the game to win the cash, never try to end the blast. Hope that you already, yeah, that time of year is back. PPL live, it's time to crown another champ. 2023 to 24, it's going down. Lots of competition, only one can wear the crown. Hope that you already, yeah, that time of year is back. PPL live, it's time to crown another champ. 2023 to 24, it's going down. Lots of competition, only one can wear the crown. PPL live.
And here we are, Pantheon Cup 15. PPL Live is on the docket. We are here for the season finale of PPL Live, Pantheon Cup 15, the 15th annual championship game in the PPL. And we got us a great one, man. Gino the Gent here with my man Ulysses S. Hate, ready to give you guys the last rundown of the season. But before we do that, you know we got to take an eye back to Final Four weekend. Starting with the Argonauts, doing it again, finding a way, battle of attrition. They are back for their 8th Pantheon Cup appearance. 88 to 69. The GAFF attack gets it done. Nail biter at the end. Not enough for squad underestimated to defend their title. The GAFF attack advances to Pantheon Cup 15. 128 to 123. Making their 3rd Pantheon Cup appearance. Man, Ulysses, what a great week of Final Four weekend, man. Talk to me a little bit about Final Four weekend. What did you think about Final Four weekend? What was your breakdown? What was your analysis and observations?
I mean, what a tale of two games. Yeah. I mean, right? If we had any other configuration, I mean, this would have been a mopping between the two. Yeah, between the two matchups. The Twins and Argos, I mean, it felt like these two teams just couldn't get out of their own ways. Twins made a big misstep with not playing that Steelers defense. I felt like that put them in a hole. And, I mean, Brock Purdy, Cortland Sutton, Jordan Addison, Colts D, 49ers lose. Yeah. I mean, that's 5 positions totaling for negative points. Yeah. She needed a big week, and I think she went away from a strategy that had been working for her. When I look at the guys in this lineup, with the exception to Keenan Allen, most of her tried and trues are in here, right? Eckler, Taylor, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sutton, Addison, the guys that she's been going to all season. But as of late, the waiver wire pickups, and when I'm looking at that bench, I'm seeing Zeke has 16.5, Zamir White 15.5. You know, she could have only played one of those guys, and the other guy could have made a difference. That's 20 points right there. Right. When the Broncos lose, you should be pulling your coach. She's known for that maneuver.
Didn't do it, surprising.
Probably the most wins, going 9 against 10. I was shocked to not see it, especially going one-on-one. Like, hey, you're already invested with Brock Purdy.
Definitely.
And so I felt like it was a mistake being played. The Argo got in by the skin of their teeth here. Other side, I mean, they've done
it all year. That's what they've done all year.
No, I mean, exactly. And I mean, he's got to be sweating because, I mean, when the Broncos did what they were doing, I mean, Devontae, I mean, that whole, I mean, the Raiders won by not running or not passing for 3 quarters.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what the hell's going on with the Chiefs, but I mean, Devontae didn't factor. A lot of question marks around Tony Pollard's usage. Achane, I don't know about his health. I mean, this is, I would say, the most surprising Argonaut final appearance we've seen.
Right.
To date. And like you said, there's been 8. When I look at the other side, man, what a thriller. I mean, this went down to the final game, final plays.
Yeah.
And I mean, both sides, you know, underperformed in some areas. Again, squad big miss on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Puka Nacua going for damn near 30. You're just not going to make that production up. Dak had a quiet, I won't say quiet, but, you know, not the kind of game we were expecting to see.
Justin Fields balled out, man.
Yeah, Justin Fields balled out. Jordan Love even had a pretty decent game. But when I'm looking at is Alvin Kamara put the dud out right as Puka was balling out. It just was ominous in the battle of the 2 best probably remaining tight ends to be going. I mean, not mentioning Kelsey, obviously. I'm saying heads up here.
Don't forget George Kittle, man. I mean, he's the reason Argonauts are even in the Pantheon Cup.
Well, no, sure. I mean, I'm not knocking. I'm just saying the matchup between those. I mean, Kittle wins that hands down. We saw these are 2 premier tight ends going head to head, and Laporta. I mean, very pedestrian 3.3. Hawkinson's season is done.
Right.
That factor's major for the Gaff, but I mean, hell, I mean,
I like Trey McBride, man.
No, I like Trey McBride a lot, and I think Trey McBride will come in and do just fine. The Gaff, I mean, did what he needed to do. Jalen came in big. Jahmyr Gibbs, early fumble, and they didn't go away from him. I think that bodes well for him, especially not just for the future, but going into next week. The areas of concern, though, are definitely Kenneth Walker III. Since sustaining the injury, he just has not looked the same.
Yeah.
And so
we'll get into that part about him, man. Let's talk about like how it went down, man. The last play of the game, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, what'd you think of that?
Man, I mean, I was watching just like everybody else. I thought that, you know, squad was in a really good position to pull this one out. Yeah. How Christian got the TD early on. It was. I mean, again, what else could you say? I mean, it must have been a true gut punch for squad.
Right.
And when you look at his lineup, I mean, again, this is a lot of after the fact. But again, I think that maybe he could have made a few different plays that obviously, in hindsight, would have been a big difference. I mean, that Buccaneers defense, I mean, would they have ever gotten in? I mean, again, just because the 49ers are such a solid defense, are you a bit more deferential when they're playing Lamar Jackson in an MVP effort? That might have been some
gone away from them, man. You know.
Well, this is what I'm gonna say though is. In these kind of moments, when it's about fantasy, when it's about winning a PPL title, I think this was a moment when fan shit got in the way of squad's title aspirations.
Okay, fair. Nah, man, I mean, definitely. I mean, it was a great year for squad underestimated. Led the PPL in scoring, were the Juggernaut era style winners. Really great year for Patty's Twins. Showed the resourcefulness that has made them a 3-time Pantheon Cup champion. So, I mean, both teams got a lot to look forward to. Have some great. I mean, squad underestimated has a pick of the litter in their keeper class for next year. And Patty's Twins, they're not too shabby themselves, man. But with that being said, hey, as I always say, what's past is prologue. Final Four weekend is over. We have decided. We have come to that point. We know who will be in Pantheon Cup 15 as we get you started for a huge matchup, a rematch of Pantheon Cup 2. We have the Omega Conference champions, the GAFF Attack, taking on the Alpha Conference champions, the Argonauts. All right, man, big one here. The number 1 and number 2 seed, they get the job done. They are in the Pantheon Cup. Both teams had to sweat it out, but both teams are here ready to go. Easily could have been a totally different matchup, man. Big one here. The Argonauts come in, not really sure what they're going to throw out there. We know Justin Jefferson will be in there, man. Be Justin Jefferson leading the Argonauts up against Jalen Hurts in the GAFF attack. What do you think of this one? A huge 15th annual Pantheon Cup. Who will be the champion, man? The GAFF attack taking on the Argonauts.
Well, yeah, I mean, and the gamesmanship is already in play. After I got the opportunity to speak to Jason and his Argonauts a few weeks ago on PPL After Dark, Gino, we talked some strategy, and I think that he's employing
he's
it. I mean,
strategy with you now, Ulysses.
Well, I mean,
so you must be in that inner circle then.
Well, I mean, hey, we talked, and I'll just say that one of the things we talked about is is there an advantage in these bigger games of maybe holding a few cards back and seeing how that impacts your opponent, and I'll say I understand why he's doing it. Okay. When I look at the GAFF Attacks roster this week, there's really not a bad play in sight.
Right.
Jalen Hurts against Arizona, I think him and A.J. Brown should have a great day. Jahmyr Gibbs against Dallas, again, I think his utilization is there, and we've seen these top defenses really struggle against the run, and I mean, Detroit has shown that they'll go there, right. And Goff plays good under a dome, so let's see how that goes. CD can't be stopped, so I mean, if Dallas is to factor, he's going to be in the game.
Definitely.
Again, you mentioned it, Gino. I like what I've seen out of Trey McBride, and I think that, even though Hawkinson's down, I mean, hey, getting a guy in free agency deep in the season who ends up being a top 10
who can replace that
in fantasy. Man? Yeah, I mean, he honestly can. I mean, we were talking about it, Gino. I mean, Kyler seems to only have eyes for Trey McBride, right. So that does well. DK, I mean, has been coming through in big games, but I mean, the question mark to me is Kenneth Walker right now, since the injury has not been the same. Jets D, let's see. I mean, I'm hearing a lot of chatter about what Joe Flacco is going to be trying to bring to his former team. Bills should be a lock. I mean, we saw New England kind of act out of hand last week, and I almost cost the Argonauts this title.
Right.
When I look at the other side, looks like a few things are said. Justin Jefferson, like you said, if he suits up, he has to go. Cooper Kupp here, I think he has to be in the lineup, simply because of the trade. I mean, Cooper Kupp did not perform well when these two teams played in the Week 11 win that the Argos had. He was pretty much the dark horse of that matchup. Right. Him and Achane combined for 2.6. The rest of everybody else basically 130.
Right.
Whenever you look at the game last week, again, Kupp 7.9, not really what you were expecting. Done, nah, I mean,
not going up against a guy like CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown.
Well, and there's really no excuse now. I mean, Puka is showing that he's going to have to draw some more coverage respect. And again, Kupp and Stafford have shown that they have that rapport, and I expect them to exploit that. So that's an area that, I mean, Stafford is absolutely going to play. He's not in the lineup yet, but I think he has to go there. Jared Goff against Dallas in Dallas. Yes, it is a dome, but that defense could get at him. And I think Dan Campbell, again, goes with a run-heavy scheme and brings that smash mouth to Dallas. I expect that to be a very entertaining game.
Okay.
The other positions, again, man, I'm not so sure what he does here. I don't really trust Tony Pollard. We're hearing some injury issues on that line.
Right.
I think that they're going to have to be watching what happens there. Same with Achane. I mean, he's battling an injury, but so's Mostert. Right. And if Mostert doesn't go, I think Achane is a lock. On the other side, man, Gus Edwards is looking like he's smelling that end zone. And so of the running backs,
and in a week like this where you just got to get the points, man, you got to go wherever you can. But at the same time, he's also a guy that's not going to get many opportunities.
Yeah, but I think we get a little bit of insight into the Argo logic here with the Ravens coach.
Okay.
I think that Gus Edwards it factors into that decision making. He thinks that the Ravens are going to win, and he thinks that Gus Edwards is going to be a part of that and trust. He was watching Gus Edwards' usage on Monday night. When I look at the wide receivers, I mean, again, it gets kind of complicated. T. Higgins should have been in the lineup, I thought, with the trade, with the game on the line, and produced. I think that he might find his way in as, Kansas City. I mean, hell, they can't stop the run, but I like what Browning's doing, and I expect Cincinnati to be scrapping for a playoff spot. So I think T. Higgins should get in the lineup as that flex. I think that's where I'd go. I think Ferguson's the tight end. I think he's Cowboys D. And I think although that Argonauts keep this competitive, I love what the GAFF has.
Right.
And I think that he repeats what he was able to do all those years ago in Pantheon Cup 2. I think that the GAFF returns to glory here in fashion, and I think that the GAFF goes out with a bang, 143 to the Argonauts 128.
All right, man. No, I'm gonna have to agree with you. The projections are, I mean, they're lopsided whether the Argonauts have a lineup in or not. I'm looking at the Jalen Hurts matchup with A.J. Brown against Arizona. This is a matchup that they're not going to sleep on Arizona because they're trying to keep pace, especially with San Francisco's loss against Baltimore. They're really trying to keep pace for that #1 seed. And with San Francisco on the road, they definitely are going to come full attention against the Arizona Cardinals. I'm also loving Jahmyr Gibbs at Dallas. He's the kind of guy that can exploit that Dallas defense. He's a lot like a James Cook and can really run that football. He can factor huge in that matchup. Looking at CeeDee Lamb, obviously, same thing on the other side. Detroit's pass defense isn't very good. If that game gets high scoring, it could be a boom for the GAFF attack. Love the Trey McBride play, like you said. Bills coach should be a lock. I even like Jets defense at Cleveland. It's sounding like Amari Cooper might be nicked up, might not be able to play. That's going to change the reads for Joe Flacco, and that might really help that Jets defense out. Now, on the Argonaut side, there is a little bit gamesmanship going on, but I don't think it really matters. The GAFF knows who's on their roster. They know it's going to be a combination of something to expect. But, we'll see what they do here. I agree with you, man. They got to go, obviously, Jefferson. Cooper Kupp's a guy who is becoming the #2 in that offense. So Kupp is, at this point, a glorified #2 wide receiver. Do they really got to go there? I don't know if they really do. I mean, obviously, Tyler Bass is the kicker, so they're going to go with him. Ravens coach, I think that's a little more risky than maybe you might think it is, Ulysses. I think Miami is thinking that the #1 seed could be in sight for them still. And they also...
I don't know why.
I mean, this is a head-to-head matchup that they have, and if they beat the Buffalo Bills next week and the Ravens blow one more game, they might have a shot at it. So there's no reason for Miami not to think that they can't win the game and not to go full bore. On the Argonauts bench, I mean, they got a bunch of options, and any of these guys that they have can go off. So it's really hard to call, especially since they haven't set a lineup. But at the end of the day, I don't think it matters. I don't think that they have the combination that's going to get it done. I think this is been the GAFF Attack's year. Won the Omega Conference. We're second in the league in scoring. Has looked like the better team between these two teams throughout the season, despite the Argonauts' superior record and the Argonauts' victory over them in Week 11. And I think that the GAFF Attack does it again. They beat the Argonauts in a rematch of Pantheon Cup 2, get their third title in their third appearance, and make themselves one of the greatest teams in league history. I got the GAFF Attack winning Pantheon Cup 15, 142 to the Argonauts 120. Alrighty, PPLers, thanks for another great season of PPL Live. I enjoyed it. I hope you all did too. It was a great year, full of surprises. Hope to see you all back, ready to go. Good luck. Have a good weekend. Have a good off season. Be blessed. Stay safe. Hope to see you all next year, and may the odds be ever in your favor.